unfortunately. Here's the thing. You can live in the conceptual of something as to whether it's cool or not, or you can live in the empirical of something and whether it's cool or not. Collabs are alive and well if they're cool. Yeah. Oh, clothing collabs. Yeah. Yeah. But if the product is cool, then that would extend the life conceptually of a collab. It really comes down to what is the thing. What is the product? Am I going to name? I am not. I do have a Martin guitar that's coming out, but it's extremely limited edition, and it is at a price point that is not for everybody. And I don't want to be holding up a guitar that's for a certain price point and have it make waves and have everybody go like, why the fuck can't I have something that's not $14,000 or whatever? So that's my honest answer, because I like to respect all price points. And very soon there will be a guitar that will be at a much more, it will be much easier to find, and it will be much easier to buy, wallet-wise. The World Series of no, that's not it either. We're going to work on it, though. We're gonna find this catchy phrase. That's right. A collab should have a natural thrust behind it to happen. Do I like hockey? I bet you if I went to a hockey game, I would love hockey. I don't totally jump up and down about any sport, but if I went, I would be all about it by the end of it. There's no doubt about that. I'm growing my hair. This is not a response to anybody. It's a response to me looking at my own hair. I am growing. I'm just not cutting my hair for a minute. I have nothing to do. There's a much larger thing I want to talk to you about. Because therapy costs me, it's a bunch of money. I do therapy and I pay for it with my credit card. And, I'll have a really great hour. And it'll feel like a breakthrough. And then I'll walk out to the car and my phone will go off. And it'll be my Apple Pay. And it'll just say, charge. And it starts to add up after a while. So I thought that I could use... hey, thanks, Mr. Mort. Yeah, that's how I'm just going, whatever. Let's not be so vain all the time, John. So I'm taking you for my therapy. In the guitar, writing songs, singing songs, debatably good at that, but really good at playing the guitar, really good at writing songs, really good at singing the songs that I wrote, and they're really that's my life. You put me on a tour, I'm like a fish in water. But now I'm not on tour, and I'm forcing myself to get my life together. But it's not so easy. You might say to yourself, well, John, you've got it all. Why would you come on Instagram Live and complain about it? I got it good. Psychologically, however, when you come off tour and your whole life is based around doing that, you'll find the other part of your life hasn't really been tended to. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying I'm in the middle of tending to it. And it's slow goings. It's like I have sort of put myself into a out of my comfort zone in an effort to get where I want to get to. So a little bit more of a life off tour. Because last year I toured the whole year. Pagan shit. Loved it. But when you come off tour, you realize there is a life that hasn't been tended to, and it's up to you to grab a shovel and start digging. And that's what I'm doing. But for highly motivated, work ethic, proud people, it's very difficult when you don't have a daily directive. It starts to wear on a dude. I went out last night to a club for my really good friend Ben Baller's birthday. I liked that. I don't like going to the club. Oh, shit, that's right. So, Romeo, you play for the New York Giants. The Giants of New York. What a great analogy. What a great parallel. There's off-season and on-season. How do you deal with it? Do you feel the same way that without having the grid of time of knowing that Sunday's the game, and Thursday's this and Friday's that. Like you come off a season and you don't know what to do with yourself. Is that fair to say? Because your photographs are great. Love the black border on the photographs. Saw those yesterday. Those are awesome. So anyway, like I went out last night. I love not drinking because all I have to deal with is just being tired, and so much gratitude for not drinking anymore. By the way, if you ever do see me with a drink in my hand, it's because I stopped not drinking, and that's fine too. But so much gratitude for waking up in the morning and not having to piece my behavior together, not having to piece my night together. Love it. I love waking up in the morning and having 100% clarity in terms of the representation of what my night was. Even like last night feels sort of off the rails to me by comparison because like I did like the front door into a club and the cameras were going off. But I'll tell you this. I don't go to the club. Not the club. But I will go for a friend. And when a friend is having a thing at a club, best believe I'm walking in the front door, letting those cameras go off because nothing beats relationship with people. If you have a relationship with somebody and it's their birthday, whoop it up. And that's what I did last night. I had an awesome time. It was a throwback for me because I haven't been to a club in a really long time. And I'm a man who's stuck in between a club and a fertility clinic or something like that. Like the two lives. Like I'm not there yet. And I'm no longer like club. I'm no longer a gentleman of the night. That sounded like a euphemism, but, sorry, my Uber's here. Anyway, I'm old to be in a club. 40? I don't feel 40. I don't feel like I even look 40. But I'm 40 in a club. You want to feel 40? Go in a club. But also, like, I was really nice to everybody. Like, because no longer do I see the people who come up to me at the club as potentials. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, I'm going to hide. I'm going to hide in my hoodie. It's really nice to be 40 and go in the club and not see other people as potentials. Hey, thanks, Rudy. Has anyone out there... No, I can't ask that question. I can't ask that question. Speaking of, like, I want to be able to come off Instagram Live and be like, that was nice, and not have to think about it for the rest of my day. Okay. All right, I'll ask the question. I don't know if it's male specific. It has to be male specific because, I guess because of the male. I'm not asking the question because God intervened, and there was a poor connection on the Instagram Live. And so the connection was lost. I'm not asking the question. I'm barreling forward. Thank you, baby Jesus of technology, for steering me. Potential suitors. Potential suitresses. There are no potential suitresses anymore. It's a little bit like everyone in the club is like Saved by the Bell, the new class. And I knew Zach Morris. You know what I mean? Like I went to school with A.C. Slater. And now I'm hanging around the new class. All I want to do is inspire them. And I go, look, enjoy your time around the track. I'm no longer on the race team. And I enjoy, for that, going to the club and hanging out for a minute. But without drinking, pretty soon out the front door. Okay, let's go to the mailbag and see what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, Pantone is here. Are you familiar with Pantone is? It is the codified color selection company that, Ben Baller had a large amount of net worth around his neck. Pantone is in the room. Big fan of Pantone. That's super cool. What color is that? Process yellow. Do I need to put it in hex for you? Do I need to put it in hex? What was it like bringing Diet Coke to the club? Great question. So, because I have stopped drinking, I have supplanted that with Diet Cokes with limes. But I started to realize that oh, thank you, Pantone. Or whoever runs Pantone's social media account. I started to not like. Okay, so two things. Number one, I didn't like the mix of the fountain, like the bartender gun. Also, I didn't like waiting for more Diet Cokes to come. And so I mentioned it to my friend Cena. I said, I really wish I had a 2-liter of Diet Coke at the club. And he got me a 2-liter of Diet Coke at the club. I believe somebody went and got the 2-liter from across the street as a joke and delivered it to my table. And it wasn't a joke, because it was better than the... It was better than the bartender Diet Coke that came out of the gun. And I could refill it anytime I wanted to. And I loved it. So I brought a 2-liter to the club. And I stayed up it was like now, my biggest party night is that I can't sleep because I drank too much Diet Coke. The 2-liter looked very slim. That's because I used a filter on it. I used a filter that took the contours in a little bit. I hate Diet Coke. I prefer the original one. Let's break this statement down for a minute. I also prefer, everybody prefers, did you like this, the wax on? Everybody prefers the original Coke. Everybody wants to drink things with sugar in it. I think we're all in agreement that a Diet Coke is a consolation, and in exchange for 100% less sugar, we lose a little bit in the deal on the taste level. Up all night, Diet Coke in the club. Yep. World Series of Warbles. It's the closest so far. It's the closest so far. Am I still playing Switch? Yes. Diet Coke equals chemicals. This has always seemed like a rather rickety soapbox to stand on. We are bombarded with chemicals all the time. Let's see if there's any in the sky. Are there any chemicals falling on us in the sky? Nope. I'm just kidding about that. Now I'm really looking. There's so many chemicals all the time. Diet Coke chemicals? Really? Sure. Okay, I can understand if someone's walking around, high and mighty, sporting the fact they drink Diet Cokes, and that life is peachy, you might want to bring them down a couple pegs and say, by the way, that has aspartame in it. I don't want to get into the phenylketonutrionics of it. Phenylketonutrics of it. But I mean, let's weigh this against the rest of the consequence of life. It's just fine. Everything's going to be fine. Did I meet a potential wife in the club? No, I did not. Sunnyside Up said, I drink that shit like it's soda. I had a sparkling water the other night, and as I had it, I thought to myself, I wonder if sparkling water was invented to keep people from chugging water. Think about it. This is very fun, guys. I'm having a really good time, and this is giving me a sense of purpose in my life. As of 15 minutes ago, I didn't even have a sweatshirt on. What's behind me? Well, that's Sunset Boulevard behind me. Back to my therapy. Once you've played in fantastic bands, with fantastic musicians, and you're in front of thousands of people, and the energy is being traded back and forth, and it's just beautiful, and you get off tour, and your guitar is leaning up against a chair, and you look over at it, and you go, why? Oh, what am I going to pick it up and plug it in and play in the mirror and go, yeah, still got it. Which I do sometimes, but I just, like, within organic detergent companies planted the Tide Pod memes to prevent people from buying Tide products. Tide Pod, the joke, if we can break down the anatomy of the joke. Number one, the joke wouldn't work if they weren't called Tide Pods. There is a funny cadence and phonetic to Tide Pods. That's like douchebag. People used to like saying douchebag all the time because it had a good mouthfeel. Tide Pods is a funny sounding word. Eating Tide Pods is a brilliant visual of stupidity. Then, to go a layer deeper, to pretend you do eat Tide Pods is, if you're 16 years old, it feels like a secret membership into a club of ironic humor. If you're older than that, you're like, that's kind of funny, it's pretty absurd. But like, this is being driven by a generation of people who get a certain thing, and I'm not coming down on it, by way of feeling like they have membership into a joke. Also, and this is a larger epidemic, irony, heretofore known as something that is something that has a bit of a novelty to it because it's not reality, is becoming a 24/7 reality for people. So there are people who practice irony who don't know it's ironic. They believe it is actual real life. So, for instance, like I would say irony and hyperbole. Hyperbole is even more overused. And I don't mind it being overused, but when it's overused unconsciously, I feel like that might be a problem. So, if you say something about someone in the public, you go, love that person's last record, don't love the newest record. And you get an onslaught of GIFs, GIFs, whatever you want. Or phrases like, those are fighting words. Or I will end you, or this is, take many seats and you're canceled. I just hope the people who say it understand that it is hyperbole. Sorry. I just hope that they understand that a person can't be your spirit animal, and that nothing is everything, and that you can't have multiple goats. You can't have multiple goats. I believe my point is best surmised with this point alone. You can't have multiple goats. The fact that you do have multiple goats is my case in point. That you have adopted a sense of hyperbole and conceptual extremism that you believe opens your ability to communicate, and I would say just the opposite. That's right. Farmers will disagree. Farmers can have many goats. But just the opposite happens. You believe the world of language and expression is opening to you. I say it's closing. You're actually not using the nuanced language available to you. Everything is everything. Everything is the goat. This is my everything. I live for this. I die for this. This is my dad. This is everything. Why can't we say that? Why can't we say, I think so-and-so is just dynamite? I don't think so-and-so is dynamite. I think they're a dynamite performer. Because then you don't have to be forced to defend the absolutism of what you've just said when you said so-and-so is perfect, infallible, they are almost not human, they are royalty. Why would we do that? You don't have to. Your point is just as well, if not better made, with a little bit of shading. People are assholes in general. It's a good way to shut a conversation down. It's a good way to reduce everything we were talking about down to like, people are assholes in general. Well, maybe. But I don't live in general. I don't deal in general. I deal in breakdowns of things. Rudy, GIF or GIF is in your heart. As you know, Moog or Moog in your heart. Eventide or Eventide in your heart. You know what I'm saying? You got to choose it. And I believe the correct answer between two people who say varying things is the one who's more confident about it. Doing your own laundry can be therapeutic, and I do it all the time. This is not great drying weather for clothes right now. We are short days and not very warm. Well, right, you want to declare something is the best so that it breaks through the noise, but that's how noise is created. You know how I get people to watch stuff that I want them to see? I don't say you have to watch this, because you don't. I say things like, you'd really like it if you watched it. Think about it. Let's break it down again. You haven't seen blah, 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 blah? You have to watch it. Your ears go like that. Fuck you, no I don't. If I go, you haven't seen blah, 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 blah? Oh, I think you'd enjoy it if you watched it. That has some sensibility to it. Or I say, do yourself a favor and watch it. I think you'll really enjoy it. See what I'm saying? I think you'd really get something out of watching that. You'd be like, I'll watch it tonight. AM radio pause. Let it sink in. Pause for room tone. Okay. You're a GIF guy? I think it's how you grew up. I grew up as a GIF guy. You stopped using the word just as in like saying it's just the best, or I just love it. Where? How? We use it in a sentence. Classic kicks. If I were just being a curmudgeon, yeah, you have to see this. It's the best thing I've ever seen. Now you're what? Yeah, I'll have to go see the best thing you've ever seen. You know what? If I gave you a year's worth of, I think you'd really enjoy it if you watched it. And then I said to you one time out of nowhere, it's the best thing I've ever seen. You will get up in the middle of this dinner and go watch it, because I have established relativeness. I have established relativity. Relativity. Oh, I'm just going to chill at home and do nothing. Okay, here's something that's 100% true. I found out that I was using the word just in my lyrics too much. I just found out there's no such thing as the real. Just a lie. I was doing just a lot. It was a beat that I could put into writing. It buys you. Basically, it can turn an even number of syllables odd and vice versa if you're trying to fit words in there. So I took just out of a lot of my future writing. Now, see, Jimmy Vaughn is the GOAT. He is one of the GOATs. One of the GOAT. One of the GOAT is how you would say it. One of the GOAT. OTT GOAT. No, Oot GOAT. One of the GOAT. He's Oot GOAT. That's never going to take off. If everyone agrees something is the best or GOAT now, you feel bad if you don't know what they mean. I don't think you have to be in 100% synchronization with the world. You don't have to eat every trend. Skip a couple trends. Like, if you ever see me in the Balenciaga, like, Friendly's waitress shoe, I want you to know that I capitulated to hype. I capitulated to a certain superficial peer pressure. I just wanted to be like the people I saw on Instagram. If you see me wear the Balenciaga Triple S, which I just pretended I didn't know the name of, I'm not saying to lose all faith in me, but I'm just saying you should know that I gave in. I was a little lonely. I was a little unfulfilled in my life. I wanted to participate in a certain social event that made me feel lonely for being left out of it. Still don't think you're going to see me in the Triple S. Now, if we can get to a Quadruple S, where actually my body is tilted so far forward wearing them because of the way they're elevated, where I actually have to lean on a friend, I would wear those. I would wear the S8, which would actually elevate the foot so much that you could only crawl into the club or the photo or video shoot. Also, you got to be 40, and I got to let kids do their thing. I got to let the next generation do their thing. You don't need a 40-year-old. It'd be like, Mom, I'm going to have a party in the basement. We're going to watch movies. And you're like, ooh, can I join? It's like, that's fucking uncool. Do your thing. Generations version of it, which is the vintage Nike ACG. And that was authentic to me. What shoes am I rocking right now? God's shoes. The shoes that were issued to me. PRS Strat Signature, not now, but soon. I have the final beta in my room. I have the final beta. How do I know it's the final beta? Because I've been playing it now for a pretty good amount of time, and I cannot come up with a reason it's not the greatest guitar I've ever played. So, get some Off-White Prestos. I had some Off-White Prestos. I dig those very much. Do I watch the Olympics? I watch. I've never made the declaration that I am or aren't an Olympics watching guy. Ben Baller, my man, how are you feeling? Are you hurting? I heard your voice. I heard your acid reflux in your Insta story. Low key Presto Flex. See, thank you, Kasha Kicks. Dead & Company is not the place for stunting with new things, but I'll slip a couple ideas in there. Oh man, your acid reflux is audible. Just hang in there. Hang in there. Me, I woke up pretty late because I stayed up, made some music when I came home. I bought a lava lamp on Amazon Prime Now. They delivered a lava lamp to me a couple days ago. I'm a 40-year-old with a lava lamp in my hotel room. I'm in a hotel room because I'm buying a house. This is maybe the lead that I had buried this whole conversation. Well, why am I in a hotel? I'm buying a house. Making moves as an adult. Build it and they will come. Spencer Gifts, man, don't I miss the Spencer Gifts. The clacking sound of the posters being moved as you slide through them and go, where's the one I can take home with the girl bending over on the Lamborghini? Those girls, that was like my first exposure to like people without clothes. Were girls in bikinis bending over Lamborghinis. It rhymes. I'm sure someone's done it before. Maybe Charlie XCX rhymed. I bet you she rhymed Lamborghini with bikini. Didn't she have a song about Lamborghini? I don't know. Right, Bob Marley posters. I'm also going to get a beanbag chair and the halogen lamp that everyone in college had. That was just a rod with like a V-shaped thing and the little knob. Halogen lamp. That's where my sexuality was born, was at Spencer's Gifts. Yeah, the clickety-clack of the poster rack. Buy that poster and don't look back. Don't let your mom see it, she'll have a heart attack. When she's gone for the day, take it out for a whack. Oh, I can't stop. The World Series of written music. It's a silent W. Doesn't work. Smack Pack. That's hilarious. Smack Pack. Is that what they were called at the newsstand? Were they called Smack Pack? That's hilarious. The pendulum. How about the ball where you put your chemtrails? Here we are. Now they're just spraying. That right there is spraying that stuff to make me hungry. Yeah, I do like rhyming. The 3-pack. Where a Smack Pack. Don't tell me it was legitimately called a Smack Pack. The top one of the Smack Pack was always really good, and the two behind it you would lose all faith in humanity. All faith in humanity. Well, I think that I did a really good job of coming on Instagram Live and being eminently watchable. However, if I keep talking, I think I'm going to lose the streak. I'm out of here. Make a song called Girls in Bikinis Bending Over Lamborghinis. Emoji zucchinis. It's what I do. It's what I do. Listen, also, if you're out there and you're making music and you're in the studio and you're on a break and you're making a record, look me up. I'll come play. I want to play. I want to make music. I want to make tracks. Let's do it. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you later. Also, this is where I'll leave you with this. Here's my impression of a guy who's slightly uncomfortable that he's still wearing sunglasses and he's just noticed it because the sun is starting to go down. Yeah, so this weekend I'll be just be hanging out. Anyway, that's why I'm wearing sunglasses. Have a friggin' great weekend. I love you. I'm thinking about you all the time. Thinking about my next moves. Thinking about new song ideas. I don't do well without doing that. I belong to you in some way for the rest of my life, and I like that deal. Have a friggin' awesome weekend, and I will see you later. And let